Welcome back, everyone, to the Esports Series Championship National Finals. I'm PB and John alongside It's Maps, and we have some Apex action coming up for you all.
Yeah, I know. I am so excited about Apex Legends. We just had some crazy games of Fortnite right beforehand. We took a little bit of a break in between, so I would say the adrenaline of those matches, the overall excitement has kind of worn off. We kind of started, falling asleep over here. I know I have up here on the desk. I've been
Building it back.
Yeah, just a little bit. So we're going to try to build it back up. We're excited. I know the players are excited. More importantly, I know that everybody that's watching at home on the stream is also just as excited to get into all of this Apex action.
And we have everyone inside of the venue getting in lobby, getting ready. Warm-ups is already pretty much concluded. So at this point, we're only a couple of moments away from starting. But you know, what's an esports LAN without Rocket League?
Oh, yeah.
8 of the best teams in the ECS are here to go head-to-head to see who really is the best.
Yeah. Yeah. So taking a look at some of our teams. Look, Pool A and Pool B, the top two of these two pools are going to be moving on. I believe, is that correct? Right? Yeah. Top two. Yeah. Top two. Yeah. Just like Overwatch and Marvel Rivals that they were talking about. So they will be playing again live at the Full Sail Armada Orlando Health Fortress. It's gonna be a tough one. Rocket League, a very mechanically skilled game that you have to be. You kind of have to have the talent, have the right touch, if you will.
No, absolutely. It figuratively and literally.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. A little tippy tappy.
He picked it up. He picked it up.
Uh-huh.
The layup was there. Wrong sport, but
And immediately after that, we're going to be having Valorant. That's going to be happening after that, aren't you? Right?
Yeah, yep. Valorant is also going to be pulling up after Rocket League as well. We're going to go ahead and get that up. Pool A and B once again. Look, I gotta say, I see some Texas team in a lot of these matchups. I know we got a lot of Texas teams in Apex here today, so I'm a little biased. Texas resident, born and raised. Yeah. So shout out to all the Texas teams out here. But Valorant is one that I'm going to be very much interested in because I did see a couple of some high-ranked players, if you will, on these rosters. So I think this is going to be a very interesting matchup when it comes time for these matches to be played out.
Perhaps even a high level of play. I mean, I just saw there on that leaderboard, the bracket, is that we actually had quite a few teams from the Dragons. So I'm probably expecting, probably a good amount of Dragons, maybe some matchups between them. Since Dragons is coming here with quite a few rosters, probably showing some kind of dominance. But with that being said, I'm sure their agents are locked and loaded and ready to scrap it out. Yeah. And so immediately after Valorant, what do we have after that?
This is one that I personally have, I haven't played this in years. All right. I'm sure I might be showing my age a little bit, but Minecraft Bed Wars is also going to be pulling up here.
Okay.
It is going to be 15 teams, 5 rounds, everybody playing against each other all at the same time. So that is going to be very, very interesting to kind of see played out. That is something that I have not played in a very, very long time. Before, I guess, there was Bedrock and Java and all the separations. It was just Minecraft at the time. So I'm excited to see how these new kids around the block show an old head how it's done.
No, absolutely. I mean, these kids, they're building their way into Friday and Saturday, and they're going to duke it out. Honestly, I'm probably expecting the level of play that we're going to be seeing here.
Yeah.
Probably somehow crazier than some of the Fortnite Apex games. Dude, let me tell you this. Kids don't play about their Minecraft.
No.
They take that so serious. So, man, I'm excited about seeing that Minecraft gameplay.
Yeah. I'm excited to see what they've changed about the game. I don't know if they've changed too much about Bed Wars. So I don't know. I'm excited to see that. I won't be personally casting it, so I will be able to actually watch it comfortably, and kind of and see how these teams really strategize, because it is a very, very interesting game mode.
No, definitely. And, besides, Minecraft, we just spoke about Rocket League, just spoke about Valorant. I know you're actually quite the Valorant aficionado. What do you maybe thinking if that new map, almost all these games just got new patches?
Yeah, I was I haven't seen the new map. I've only seen one portion of it, and I think it's going to be very, very interesting. Just purely off of the one little snippet that I've seen. But I mean, look, I'm going to be honest. These youth esports kids, they play this game, all these games really at a higher level than I could even imagine to. So Yeah, I'm interested to see what kind of different strategies they bring into it. Something outside of pro league or even collegiate level. I think they're going to have a really unique take on it.
Right. And the craziest thing about this event is that there's actually quite a few cross-discipline esports players. So this is what kind of makes this event really unique. The esports series championship is that you have perhaps some players that are playing Overwatch, some players are perhaps playing Apex Legends. But with that being said, we have our Apex series that is getting started right now. They're launching into the lobby. We're going to see if there's going to be a full launch without any drops. And we're going to be having 6 total drops over the weekend, 3 today, 3 tomorrow.
Yeah, I know. It is going to be split up, so you will be able to kind of take back what you do in these first 3 drops today and kind of strategize, do your VOD review and see what went wrong, see what went right, and you can kind of go into day 2 with a little bit of a better idea of who you're going up against. But I mean, look, the cheers were going crazy here just as soon as the lobby launched up, so we'll get in there shortly. But I'm really excited about this. I believe we're going to be starting out on Storm Point.
Looking off into the crowd, I'm seeing
never mind.
World's Edge.
World's Edge. I lied to you. I'm so sorry.
I'm so sorry. We got duped.
But we're getting in. Here we go.
Oh, okay. We're just waiting on it, trying to see. Hey, I'm seeing there's maybe just one drop in the lobby. I don't know if that is going to be a reset. But with that being said, I just wanted to talk about our map pool, because we're going to have World's Edge, Storm Point, and then E District, and we're going to play those exact same 3 maps tomorrow. The difficulty about having a 2-map repeat in a series is the fact that you can't really strategize so much, especially if you're only playing 1 map a day. You can't really repeat the same strategy twice. Storm Point, World's Edge, E District, the topography and geography on both of those maps vary so much.
They all play extremely different, and not to say the maps play very differently, but some of these characters, they just got patched, just got buffed, and so a lot of these characters here today that you're going to be watching these players play, they're going to be a little bit different, a little bit of buffed. Ballistic going kind of crazy. Also, we just saw a couple of those locked in. Pathfinder, another notable one that got extremely buffed here. A lot of better momentum and better movement, but they are dropping in across the map here. First one of the evening here. I cannot contain the excitement. I will say I did see a Bloodhound drop pick, so I'm not in the best state currently of that character.
Okay.
At least from what I can tell.
Yeah, definitely. And we are going to see a global POI, a global dropship. So we're going to see a contest. We're already witnessing the contest over in Mirage. Get the knock, Swift gets the knock onto Hazisk, and that's knocks on both sides. It doesn't seem like they were able to get a kill, but that Maggie drill is coming in, cancels that Gibby res, and they're just scrapping. They're looking for ammo, looking for secondary guns. It's looking like a 2v2 right now.
Yeah, SHS Pojo, they were going to be able to get 1 knock and 1 finish, but they're going to go ahead and lose 1 more player, so it is all up to the actual player here. Can they save it for their team? Be able to try to go in. R99 doesn't have any extended max. 18 bullets is not going to be enough to take down the kill. Shots there are connecting, playing around these knockdown shields. Not going to be able to get it just yet. The reloads, but oh no! Just a fraction of HP, and it is going to be the West Texas Gushers.
That is unfortunate, to say the least. And what a contest spot to be fighting for. I mean, outside of Mirage, not even a main POI, but a no-name. It's interesting, to say the least. Doing that, hoping that staging isn't going to pull up as quickly as possible. You're putting a lot of faith in that contest, to say the least.
Yeah, well, taking a look at the loadouts right now, Rampage and Car in the hands of Don Gotti. P2020 duels and Mozambique's. What is he running? Double dually loadouts?
Okay.
It's interesting. I'm here for it though. I mean, with the shotgun changes that kind of came through, I don't know if the Mozambique got the Executioner hop up.
Actually, no. The Mozambique is actually in a worse state than it used to be. It had its graffiti mod taken off the Mozambique, so you're no longer getting 12 bullets instead of 10, and that increased fire rate has been reduced down to what you get off of a stock, off of your stock options. Really, only depending on that purple bolt. So hopefully that gentleman there gets another option. But we're going to be headed over to the other side of the map here. Probably a confrontation, 61 damage already out. And I think they're just waiting, biding for their time, trying to look for more options here, more loot options, as this team is now starting to rotate out.
I do want to point out we have two of those characters that I just mentioned were buffed recently, Ballistic and the Pathfinder. Pathfinder getting their ultimate shot out just a little bit quicker, does get deployed a little bit faster, and while traveling on it, it is a lot quicker. On top of that, you actually don't have any I guess recoil on landing is you get a semi horizon passive, if you will, where you can have improved landing from a height, so those grapples kind of go crazy at the moment. And Ballistic, there's so much that got buffed over that character at the moment. But as we take a look, the Cougars, they're going to go down one player. Flipper Kid, the Caustic player, going to go down next, was extremely low, and now you just kind of have to take the L's here and take out of this fight, because you cannot go down here. Every little second matters. Every single point, every single placement that you move up does benefit you in the long run.
Yeah, and that was really unfortunate for Golden Striker there, since Alter did get a little bit of a nerf to the recall speed. Alter overall takes a little bit longer to just hit that total reset. So Golden Striker is able to make it away with his life, trying to find that reset, hopefully looking for a replicator and just taking the evac tower, trying to find another moment of respite. 0 bullets in the
no.
R9.
That, I was gonna say, I was like, oh wow, Gold Wingman. The Wingman's been kind of getting a lot of popularity lately from what I've watched. And then you see the no bullets. It is rather tragic. So it's gonna hit the balloon tower, try to kind of fly into safety here, but unfortunately not gonna be able to get the reses on those death boxes, because, well, as nice and convenient as a death box respawn is, they did just also buff the sound cue of it, and it's a lot more easier to be heard from a farther distance. So he's got a replicator here at Harvester that he can hit up and get those respawn beacons picked up. Or respawn cards, yeah.
Just chilling over in Harvester, as we're going to see another confrontation on the POI that is just outside of Skyhook East. Waiting for tunnels, looking at the back, making sure that Geyser isn't going to be sliding down. But you just completely forget the guy that's on your rear, setting up fences, hopefully. Take her gun out.
Watson Jane gonna go down, does end up going down in the process, so it is up to Squid here for the Mud Dogs here. Well, Phoenix also in a one-player situation. But, oh no, the mobility from the Valkyrie is able to get him up into safety, but they do have the lifeline. They can tap these reses and it just go off instantly. He doesn't even have to worry about it. He can't hold it, and well, the hip fire is more than enough to get the crack. Not gonna be able to get the kill though, but the resets have come through.
This is a precarious situation for Valkyrie. He does have a skydive, able to hit the skydive, as this other squad, Franklin Phoenix, is able to finish off those 2 knocks. Now, Mad Dogs in a little bit of a precarious situation here, looking for the nearest replicator, but given the fact that there's no replicator here inside of Skyhook, or sorry, City.
Yeah.
There's not really many options. As we head over to WTX Gushers, 1 knock onto Twilight, getting the finish, and just slowly hitting the reset. 748 damage on the board. This Hemlock is hitting.
It is absolutely hitting. Even also after a nerf, it did lose some of its ammo magazine size across the board at every single stage. But still, nonetheless, the gun hits like a truck, and well, there it is. The Gushers, they're going to go ahead and lose 1 to that exact gun. Seer ult was thrown out, but they still going to be able to see, thanks to those buffs from to Seer onto the ultimate. But are they going to be able to get this revive is the question. These players have jumped down off of Mirage. But it seems like they're not even going to try to take this fight. Gushers, Dongati trying to run away, though.
Take the Chow.
Oh, does get the 1 clip. With the car, nonetheless. I mean, the car recently coming back to 4 loot, and it has been shredding afterwards. Oh,
man,
shot in the back.
With the Whistler. And, I mean, I guess it's going to be an unfortunate reset attempt out of the Gushers. One thing I'm noticing is that all of the members, everyone in the lobby here, is kind of losing these members, not really looking for that ego chow. They know they don't really have much of an opportunity here, and instead of going for that clutch factor opportunity, they rather just pull back, reset, get the entire team on board, even if that delays the rotate a little bit.
Well, the Mozams, they're taking a lot of damage here. It is just up to this Gibby trying to get the respawn, but no, it is not going to be enough. They are going to be taken out here. So take a look at Wiley High School playing on the conduit. Interesting pickup, I would say. I'm not too sure that they're in the best of state, but I feel like some of the changes that are still relatively good to play with. I mean, the passive regen on that shield is very, very nice.
It's an extremely aggressive comp, to say the least.
Yeah.
I mean, you have R9, you have the Havoc, you're over here playing with the Pathfinder and waiting for that crack on the Pathfinder with the Conduit Q really just gives you a free reset along with these seer scans. You know, it's really just a team that has full confidence in their fighting ability, and I think that's what we're witnessing here as this Pathfinder is taking his sweet time. You know, they only have 15 seconds left until round close, but they know they can close the gap, and they're able to play an edge playstyle very reliably.
Well, 14 squads here remaining. Placement points kicking in. These kills and the points across the board, they are going to go up and up as the time goes on, as the zones start to close up. Wiley High School taking some shots, have to fall off of the angle. That was a very, I mean, what was that, a triple take it looked like?
It looked like it.
It looked like a triple take.
Checking out. Ooh, Gaming Tiger gets downed. There's definitely someone to the right of Phantom. I think a full team that's going to be here on the high ground, perhaps 3v3 with a team that's going to be looking for that reset on the low ground, and Phantom gets knocked by the 30-30. This is going to be a confrontation on the outside of ring, but Wiley High School at a shield disadvantage. The other opposing squad runs up.
Oh, but the movement tech to get the knock. It does take a bit of the damage, has to try to heal back up, but the rest of his squad here trying to finish out this fight. Nezzy looking for a different angle here after the grapple, does get some nice hits, but still the rest of his team taking a little bit of damage, but now they have to find their way in. Does Nezzy have the ultimate, though, to get them in? I don't know.
I mean, hopefully. I would at the very least hope that they have enough heals. They have the evac tower,
yeah.
and they're going to exactly exploit that. They have their zip line going straight towards that evac tower, and they'll be able to instantly pop their booster jets so that they can immediately rotate into zone.
Gonna be able to fly on in here. Wiley High School, after taking fight after fight here, make their way in here into the second ring. Closing up here in just a few seconds, looking for any of these enemy players in the area. The heartbeat sensor scanning across the board. They do have a recon beacon they can hit to try to scan out some of these players in the area, though.
They can't take too much time here. I mean, Red Hood doesn't really have much light ammo. He only had 4 light bullets to his
He's actually taking some shots.
Oh, okay. A couple of triple take shots. Gaming Tiger, that's the squad we had seen earlier. They had gets knocked again. And it looks like Wiley High School is now just running up on this squad that just barely got the reset.
Yeah, they're going to be able to get that knock onto that second player. And thinking about taking the portal. Opts not to, because it is just right there in front of them. They do get the squad wipe, and Wiley High School up 7 KP at this current moment. They are looking unstoppable at the moment.
Now, Wiley is doing a pretty good job. Truthfully, that Seer putting in the work, getting the scans he needs to, he's canceling the ability so that he can't get anything out. And we're going to be moving on here to WTX Trolls as we're seeing that the zone is going to be closing in on Skyhook. Is this going to be a market close, or is this going to be something that's going to close more towards the backside of Raven?
I feel like this pulls towards a little bit further into Skyhook. I feel like it might, but I don't know. The way that the zone has been pulling historically in this matchup, it might pull over towards Raven.
I mean, you have so much space, almost the entirety of the mountain in there, and there's that little no-name that's in the back behind the Raven. But we do see WTX Trolls is wanting to take the confrontation here instead of, you know, biding their space, trying to respect everyone else in the lobby, which is just not something that's happening here.
I mean, very low on the light ammo here. You have to wonder, are they going to be able to take a fight here, jump straight out and towards those Watson fences, does not get hit, has to fall back down to the floor below. But it is just funky here on the side. Meanwhile, there's a Kraber in play.
Okay. WTX Gushers. We see Hasisk, Don Gotti. They're able to get the full reset, and they're actually looking better than before when they had lost 2 of their members.
Yeah, they are looking like in a pretty good state. They've got the red shields on Gunsup. They've got the over armor amp. So Or the over a hop up? Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's an
Amp
amp,
hop up.
it's an amp.
It's an amp. You know,
It's an amp.
you got the hop ups, you got the amps. It gets
Yeah,
confusing
a
sometimes.
little
It gets
bit.
you know, we're not perfect up here. We're
A little
not.
bit. Ooh, this goes
Oh
straight.
my!
Is that? Yeah, that's just going straight to the backside of zone.
Oh my!
That is
gosh.
all the way in the backside of Raven. So,
yeah. So this is gonna be really interesting. I didn't see a lot of teams play something like. There were a couple catalysts. Newcastle was, we saw one of them earlier on, but a lot of these teams, they don't have any way of forming some sort of portable cover. We saw Gibby Dome, but you can only use that for so long. So you really have to think long and hard about where you want to position in this final zone here as it's starting to close up.
And these teams, instead, are immediately looking for the rotate, but putting themselves in tough situations as everyone is looking at the cross. 50 seconds until zone close, and we're going to be seeing quite a few teams drop here, Mavs.
Yeah, 45 seconds here. I mean, the Trolls, they've been looking pretty solid, but Wiley High School, on the other hand, they are looking just as strong. So it's going to be, I feel like it might just be a straight duke between these two teams, but they are kind of just picking everyone off one by one.
I mean, teams here are most definitely going to be looking for KP, as everyone is going to be rotating in, but you have members from all sorts of areas here in Skyhook Center down into Market. This team, WTX Trolls, full sending it onto the crack. Game Dragoon, still damaged, shields cracked. I don't know if they're going to stay alive for much longer.
Oh, you mean the tracking just leads them right into the rest of their team. The Pathfinder able to get the bat off, but it is not enough. The Trolls find another squad wipe.
Now we're definitely seeing some pretty serious contenders here. This Valkyrie Skydive is just immediately going to take this team into zone, and it's empty. There's only a single member who's here in final zone, and they're going to full send this cone building and get that. It's Flooper kid.
It's Flooper. Oh no! Let him be. He's by himself, or is he by himself? No, he is by himself.
Absolutely.
All right, but he does just go down. It is the Cougars, so it is just up to their Axel here. Nowhere near by his team, but he's going to take the...
Flooper just got 2 knocks
with
onto
the gas?
They just hit the res. No!
Oh, no. Trying to get movement away. 1 HP. Oh, the movement! No! He barely doesn't get out.
Oh, that's unfortunate. The Axel just wasn't close to the team there. He spent so much time taking the altar port, and that was what costed them that win against WTX Trolls, as they're going to continue on their tear on the rest of this lobby. Now, zone is already closed. We've lost 4 teams since zone close, with 1 team attempting to hit that reset, which they will.
Yeah, they're going to be able to get the reset, and it should just be 1. But the Trolls on the back end here trying to take a fight, but the 1 clip with the R99 gets the kill, and that is another squad wipe for the Trolls here. 14 KP at the very minimum.
You know, needless to say, Trolls, they're putting some numbers on the board. Arika, Abyss, these guys are looking a little bit scary.
Yeah, very scary, but Wiley, they've shown that they can take these fights and come out on top. Yes, they have the building on the side of the Trolls. So, Wiley, show us something. How are you going to get into this fight? How are you going to navigate this? There is still 2 other players and from another squad here on the back end. Heartbeat Sensor looking for anybody else. It's just going to spot out the Trolls, though.
We have 3 squads left in this final zone. 5 seconds until ring close, and Wiley HS just looking for any kind of playable cover. There is Truck that is playable, but you are going to be very susceptible to the Seer Scan, very susceptible to nades. Definitely not something you want to be hiding in when you have the other squad that's unaccounted for.
I was about to say, surely this other squad is just on the other side of this mountain, so the ring closing is going to go ahead and force them towards it, but that is the Valkyrie. Oh, it's going to be able to scan them, taking some shots, not going to be able to find anything. The zone starting to slowly close up here. 25 seconds to scan and the hit. They're going to go ahead and take this opportunity to take some space here, but they take a lot of damage in the process. Full sending here on both sides of the Trolls, looking to clean up Wiley High School. And there it is, as the Trolls looking to try to close things out here. 1 squad left, 2 players remaining. Can they get these 2, or is it going to be a shutdown onto the Trolls?
The kickstart comes out, and then Yoking is dead. Only 1 member left, and it's looking like this is going to be a Trolls W.
And the Trolls are going to go ahead and take game number 1 here of 3 for the first day of Apex Legends. They once they got the ball rolling, it was just fight after fight, kill after kill. They just looked unstoppable. So now these teams are going to have to really think long and hard about how they want to take these fights going into these next map, onto Storm Point, onto E District. So, I mean, I'm not going to lie, Trolls after that matchup are looking very, very on point.
They're looking pretty scary. I mean, you know, needless to say, last year's winners, Franklin Exo, they were pretty much in that exact same shape, taking team after team, and then looking at what we're witnessing now, the WTX Trolls, they're going on a tear. Truthfully, what does it take for them? I feel like they're getting away with way too much that you wouldn't normally get away with. Maybe it's other teams that aren't looking at some of their crosses, other teams that maybe aren't holding their ground, or maybe just that pure hard aggression is really hard to slow down when you don't have any sort of controller legends like a Watson or a Caustic that can really shut down these pushes. You know, we had seen that the only team that put up the best sort of fight against Trolls was Cougars, and we were able to get 2 knocks just off of that Caustic gas. So, you know, maybe we should see more controllers, maybe more compositions that can play that stall game. But needless to say, very, very well played out of the Trolls.
Yeah, they take a commanding lead here after that first matchup. So I think they're going to be playing pretty comfortably going into the second game. We were probably going to see a couple of composition changes like you mentioned. And I mean, on a map like Storm Point and E District, Caustic, I think, is going to be very, very overpowered, and in some instances, especially on a map like E District.
I'm having some hopes to see, you know, maybe some Watsons, maybe some Gibbies, you know, something that can at least allow you the time for some sort of reset. One thing that we noticed out of the Trolls is that they were abusing all the meta characters. You know, Pathfinder is just pure hard aggression. The Axel has really, really crazy movement, and then you've just had that Seer that, you know, recently just got buffed to the moon with hardcore stuns, which just makes it very hard to escape.
Yeah, no, it does incredibly. It makes it very, very difficult. So you kind of have to figure out a way around that. Play the distance. Yes, the stun is going to be a very, you know, something annoying, but play something disruptive. Don't allow that team to full send you in, because once they get that stun, you're going to have the Axel run in. You're going to have a Wraith, an Alter, someone, a Pathfinder now, like you mentioned. Someone's going to full send it on you on that team. So play something that can stall the long game out. Play a little bit more, you know, a little bit more defensive. You know, you mentioned the Gibby, you mentioned, you know, the Newcastle, the Watson, the Caustics we've talked about. I mean, Catalyst is an option, but do you think it just doesn't quite feel the same? Because, I mean, it's hard to really play around the spikes on the ground.
It's very hard. Honestly, I would quite frankly say that as far as controller options goes, Catalyst is a really, really close tie for second with Watson as far as like best controller options go. Caustic is just so incredibly oppressive. You throw one can, and once that you know, the arming time is complete on the barrel, you know, it pretty much closes down an entire area. But the thing about the Caustic Spies, especially on a map like E District specifically, is that you are playing so many buildings. Obviously, dependent on the POI that's going to be in final zone, but I think it sets you up for a really good opportunity to close zones, especially, you know, cut them in half, because you're able to set up a horizontal wall and then just play for the long game, play for the placement, and then just wait. And it's really just the stalling that is maybe lacking here, is that we need to be able to stall, especially against teams that are all gas, no brakes, like WTX Trolls.
All right, I'm gonna ask a question, and I you know, after that first game, we're obviously gonna see some composition changes, and that's been the highlight. What is going to be the most off meta, most far out pick that you think we might see here? We saw Bloodhound, and that's kind of crazy. Yeah,
we did not see the Bloodhound.
I don't know that we saw him once. Yeah,
definitely not. Off meta pick. I want to see Bangalore. I love Bangalore.
Yeah.
So, you know me, Maps. Yeah, I love Bangalore. Yeah. Bangalore is my goat. All right, Bangalore shuts down controller aim assist. It provides your team cover that doesn't exist, but it still exists because people don't really know how smoke works. But that's okay. And you know, I just think Bangalore is very reliable in the sense that you're able to build up the perks in a sort of support playstyle where you can get the fast revive, you're able to get the healing Or alternatively, you can get the version of Bangalore which just completely shuts down every single controller legend, destroying barrels, destroying doors, destroying obstacles like Newcastle walls, destroying barrels off of just the missile swarm.
Yes,
and I think Bangalore is always a very solid choice, but you need to have different types of characters. We're not seeing any Newcastles, we're not seeing any Gibbies, so I don't know if Bangalore is probably the best, the best character for what we've seen from that last lobby.
I'm gonna throw it out there. It's a character that I don't have unlocked, and this is kind of where I kind of want to see maybe someone pull this character out. Vantage. I feel like Vantage was a sleeper pick after the most past updates. Not the most recent one, but kind of the past one. They kind of got that little bit of extra buff. They got that variable scope that you can kind of play at far and close range. And so I feel like there might be some instances where these players can utilize it in a very unique and interesting way that gets them out into these gunfights a little bit in a different manner.
Absolutely. I mean, thing about Vantage, a little bit reliant on gun skill, but the utility that Vantage is offering, you have access to ring consoles and survey scans, so that completely opens up the rest of your team composition to something like a support character or skirmisher, or even just total offense. Are we going to see a Revenant in today's lobby? Probably.
Maybe. Who knows?
I don't think we're doing any legend bans, so it's really just going to come down to Ballistic, Axel, and Pathfinder most likely. But man, a Revenant would be fun.
It would be fun. I mean, I think we might be taking a little bit of break here in between games 1 and 2, so don't go anywhere just yet. We're going to take a break ourselves, and we'll see you on the other side of this in momentarily for match number 2.
Trading can feel high stakes. Not here. Let me explain. When your figs go away, your characters stay. And every trade means new hatches for both players.
Welcome back, everyone. We had an insane game 1, and I'm sure that's just the start heading into game 2.
Yeah, that was a crazy, crazy end zone for the West Texas Trolls. Came out on top, 20 kills, but we're going to go ahead and show the map series layout so far so we can take a look at what we have to come and what is going to be on day 2. So, World's Edge, West Texas Trolls, they are going to come out on 20 kills, 5,674 damage.
That's a lot of damage.
That's a lot of damage. But we're going to be transitioning over into Storm Point and then ending the day on E District for day 1. And then it's going to be rinse and repeat for day number 2, World's Edge, Storm Point, E District. And I'm going to say going from World's Edge to Storm Point, kind of a steep switch up, I would say.
Both literally and figuratively.
Yeah.
You got a lot more mountains, a lot more terrain to play around. And if you have, if you're stuck on one side of these mountains, you better best believe that you have a Valkyrie or you have some kind of rotation legend.
Yeah.
Because it gets pretty hard on Storm Point, even more so on E District.
Yeah, I mean Valkyrie we've seen at least in the pro scene being used a lot earlier on in the season.
Yeah.
I feel like we might see more Pathfinder here. We saw it in game 1. A lot of the teams seemed to really like it and seemed to really play around it. And that was, that's okay, guys. I mean, we talked about how that Pathfinder Axle and what was it, maybe ballistic. I mean, you can maybe throw in the conduit or some sort of other kind of supportive legend at the end of it. Just let those two very aggressive players, those two scrimmagers, go hash it out. And you're just there to help clean everything else up. So I think we'll probably see more again on the side of the Pathfinder rather than maybe the Valkyrie. But who knows? Maybe we'll see a Wraith.
Yeah. Now, with that being said, besides WTX Trolls, let's look at the rest of the lobby. We have a leaderboard that's ready. Let's check that out.
And there it is. 20 kills, 20 points. Wiley High School, they're going to be the ones following on just behind it at 16 total points to 32 on the side of West Texas. Double their score there. So a lot of room for a lot of these teams to kind of move up, kind of when it hits that, hey, we've got 1 to 2 teams that are kind of dominating the lobby and then everyone else kind of fills in between. The gaps between those teams are not that steep, so that does provide a lot of opportunity for you to kind of come back and place a little bit higher moving into the upcoming matches.
Yeah, I mean, it's a top-heavy lobby. It's a top-heavy lobby for sure. There were only 4 teams that are able to make it double digits, and because of that, you have a lot of comeback opportunity. Just making into a 3rd place, that offers you seven placement points.
Yeah.
And we have our character selection happening right now, and exactly as we had mentioned earlier, we're going to see a little bit of a switch up. We're seeing more conduits, obviously seeing more axles. We are seeing some Valkyries, and I saw a couple lifelines in there.
Yeah, there's a couple lifelines. The supportive legends are not too crazy off on what they can do, but yeah, this will be an interesting one.
It's an interesting one for sure. Now, we see the lobby is now starting to go down. People in the drops and just waiting. People assessing where their drops are going to be. Just waiting, taking their time, looking at where everyone else is dropping. Are we going to see any sort of contest off rip? I'm unsure.
Yeah.
We see some people eyeing on Echo HQ, people eyeing on Pylon, Launchpad. We have quite a few spots, but I'm definitely seeing a lot of teams still inside the drop ship.
A lot of late drops coming through here. So it'll be interesting to see if we have any of kind of early skirmishes around this later half of the map over by Echo HQ. But it will be very interesting to see. So,
yeah, I mean, we still have teams that are dropping in. It's really just a loop path simulator at this point, waiting to see where zone 1 is going to appear, and just biding our time at this point. Now, about those team compositions that we had witnessed earlier, quite a bit of race. We're seeing a PK coming out. We already got one knock, one full finish in the lobby, and that's going to be some points towards those executioners. That executioner hop up that we were talking about earlier, Mavs. You know, for people who are unsure, there's a new hop up that was added to the game, added to most shotguns, called the executioner. Once you get a finish, it heals you for 50 shield HP, and as we're going to be seeing some more aggressive playstyles, some more shotguns, that executioner is going to come into play here.
Yeah, I think it is going to really come into play, but I feel like a lot of these teams are still picking up these Mozambiques, and we can see that on Dragon over here. But a 301 also in hand is what I call the boomer gun, and I love it.
I love it too, man. Tradition. What is it is tradition.
Yeah.
A real man never speaks ill of the R301.
Nah, it's dare I say all reliable.
Oh,
yeah.
Definitely is. Definitely not reliable this long though.
Oh gosh.
Mud Dog struggling.
Yeah, Squid. He took a couple bomb shots. I respect it, but he kind of gave up halfway, it looked like. He just kind of stopped, following up. Did get shot at, fell off the angle. Is they're gonna go ahead and opt to just get out of dodge. They don't need to take this fight. I feel like if I remember correctly, they didn't have that great of a game one. So
now, one thing that we're seeing in the kill feed is that Cougars is actually going on the offensive here. Golden Striker gets 2 knocks, and they're completely going to wipe out that one squad. Cougars already starting the game with just as much KP as they had ended the last one. Now, Golden Striker is a name that I'm actually quite familiar with, and has had personal coaching from some of the best in Apex, but he's very much a player who plays the game by the book. And I don't know if that's something that can happen here, as this playstyle, this lobby requires that aggression, as Robot Destroyer is going to find out very quickly.
Yeah, I mean, you can kind of take a look at it. He is playing the Axe and they have the Maggie, so maybe they've kind of switched it up. They've recognized that, hey, they can't play this in a more organized fashion. They need to go ahead and play this as aggressive. So they've got that aggressiveness, but they also have the supportive capability of the Newcastle, being able to get those respawns and those revives on the move, on the rotation with that knockdown shield. But they are on the chase looking for Funky. He does not want to let him get away. Thinks about using the ultimate to maybe get the knockout and chase him down, but not going to use it. He has to use these pads, but 7 seconds on that last cooldown for it. A couple of shots, going to hit 1 HP, I believe, onto Funky, and he is narrowly escaping with his life right now.
But I don't know if he's really going to be able to escape.
Oh
Yes, he makes his way into that Dragon Ball pill building, and he's just really biding his time. He's being chased, and he's trying to make his best out of a terrible situation. He's currently cracked, only 15 HP left to his name. Does he make it out of this? I mean, you're just waiting for your grapples to come back, but Mock is closing the gap.
Yeah, they are just chasing him down. They don't want to let him get away, and well, he does go down.
And they find another squad.
Yeah, I was going to say, another squad just pulled up.
Pulls up on Popcorn. Popcorn now down.
They're going to go on the chase, these axle pads, allowing these players to go ahead and maneuver around extremely quickly. But 1 HP through the conduit shield does get the crack, gets the finish. There's only 1 player remaining for this squad.
SHS Pojo just barely making it away with their lives. Now, thankfully enough, he does have at least 1 hyper gate to put down on the floor, try to make an escape.
Yeah, I think he just used it. Oh no. Yeah, the Cougars. After game 1, they're like, all right, we see how it is. We're going to go ahead and get aggressive. And they are chasing down every single player they come across.
I think Golden Striker has actually learned from last year that you cannot play the game by the book.
No.
And as you're seeing, he is perfectly capable of fragging. He's perfectly capable of hitting those 1 clips, releasing that damage, as they're going to now get the bleed out onto Funky. I believe this is going to be either the 6th or 7th KP for Cougars. Game Dragoon goes down, and then Red Hood from Wily HS is going to be getting more KP. Now, Wily HS, that 2nd squad.
Oh, they get the kill onto.
Wow.
Wow. Mid-air on the ultimate, get that kill.
That was a purple Valkyrie skydive, mind you. That was fast. That was turbo jets, turbo fast.
Well, they got my boy in the lobby, the Crypto Mace.
Oh.
You've got my heart. My main right there, Crypto.
Yeah.
Love that guy. Love that character. So they're going to get the recon beacon scanned where some of these squads are currently at. They've got the Wraith, they got the Conduit, and this is kind of one of those, we're going to play building to building, just play off of cover. I don't think they can get too aggressive with just the Wraith alone and the Conduit.
Yeah. Now, one thing I'm seeing, the lobby's empty.
Yeah.
The lobby
this is a little bare.
very dead. And I think this is really just to show that everyone has kind of realized this is a kill race.
Well, we did see so many squads drop so late over towards that Echo HQ location. And, well, I think that kind of, shows that, hey, maybe sometimes a hot drop or two might not be the worst thing. It's a little scary, yes, but it beats being, one of the 7 squads that wait all the way till the very end of the dropship to land and try to find some loot and get those kills early on.
Absolutely. I mean, really, the worst thing that can happen if you're at the beginning of the dropship, you just land elsewhere. But if you're at the end, I don't really think he can double back.
No, he really cannot. So, Eddie Ice Giants scanning around. They have the caustic, so they're going to go ahead and just post up over here by this building in Jurassic. But shot's going to be fired. The scan on the drone does point them out.
Actually, just looking for an opportunity here, but this is actually quite the interesting loadout. EVA 8 into alternator, really just mid to close distance. If anything, short to close distance. Because that alternator does not really shoot far.
I mean, it's got some respectable damage. It does have significant fall off towards a very, farther distance. But at the end of the day, I feel like the alternator is a little underrated in a lot of situations.
It is. You turn on that double tap though, you're not hitting a single thing.
You better be in their face then at that point.
Yeah. Now we are going to see Ice Giants dropping here. You got the Crypto, you got the Valkyrie, you got the Caustic. This is actually a perfectly good zone comp. But I don't know if this is necessarily a fight you want to be taking in Jurassic of all places. You don't really have anywhere to barrel up here if you do find another squad that...
taking some shots, taking a little bit of damage. He is running out of ammo, though, on the alternator, and I feel like at this point you either have to cut your losses or you have to full send it. Especially with the loadout like an alternator and an EVA 8.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the issue here is that a lot of teams are going to be... they're just going to tunnel vision here. That team decides, hey, I don't want the smoke. I'm going to be headed over to Pylon.
Yeah, we're going to go ahead and dip. But taking a look at the Mozams right now, they really haven't gotten into too many skirmishes, so they're still on white Evo shields. Not going to be having any of those current upgrades. And they're running something a little interesting. They've got the Octane in the mix-up right now, so that's going to be kind of their go-ahead, and we're going to send it in right now. But at the end of the day, we'll have to see what ends up happening.
Yeah. What is happening, I wonder.
I'm wondering what that big thud was over there.
SHS, no. SHS Pojo just hanging around over in Cenote Cave, waiting for this ring close. And as I'm kind of looking at it, this is going to be something that's going to close probably...
Yeah, so if we can get the map pulled up, I know there's a lot of fights breaking out, but I'd like to see where this is kind of heading towards.
Yeah, this is definitely quite the spot, as we're going to be seeing Phantom on the top side of the center POI. Falcon's Navy in a kerfuffle here, as they're going to be pretty much just jumped on by Raptor and co.
Yeah, they are kind of huddled up over here. The Alter Tacticals through the wall. They're going to be able to try to find their way in, but the zone closing up, damage being dealt. They can go ahead and use the lifeline, but they're not going to use it. They're going to go down. That is a big character to be taken out of the equation.
That is probably the worst character to be taken out of the equation, because my goodness, if you have a lifeline who's down first, that is dead weight.
Yep, absolutely.
Brutal. But Falcon's Navy, I mean, you get the Axel out, Junkie, as I had Googled the spelling and pronunciation of this name earlier, is able to make it out. 75 HP to his name. Round 2 closing. You have a replicator on the other side of the wall. I don't know if you necessarily want to medkit here, like specifically a medkit. But if you don't really have any other heals, it's what you got.
Yeah, I mean,
definitely don't bat there.
Yeah, I think you're 2 feet away. Just make it into the zone, please.
Just get it in there. Just get in there. Don't freak out. Just stay relaxed, stay calm. nothing to fear. As
Yeah,
oh
there we
man,
go.
Ice Giants, Falcons, Navy. There's 4 squads over here on the far side of zone. If it's not Falcons, Navy, it's definitely Ice Giants. Or maybe Ravens is just completely going to ignore them. But one thing that we are seeing is that Mud Dogs versus Wiley, and we're also going to be seeing the Ravens back in.
Yeah, they are currently in a pretty solid position, but honestly, if I had to pick anybody right there that has maybe, you know, a better positioning is the Mozams. I don't feel like they have to worry too much about being jumped on by the Mud Dogs and oh geez, who was that? Was that Wiley High School? I believe.
Yeah, it was Wiley.
Now,
yeah, okay, we have the Mythic bin.
All right, they've got the Mythic bin. It is our current first place holders at the moment. So they're our current packed point leaders.
Yeah.
And well, you can see it already on there. It's 7 assists, 2 kills, at least 9 KP total in the top 6 position. So they are looking very, very nice to go ahead and try to extend their lead that they've already established after the first game.
Yeah, that's going to be Wiley getting a full squad wipe out. So we have 6 squads left and 7 KP to the name of Twilight. That Axel is going to burr.
Indeed. But yeah, I mean, look, this is kind of the comp that we're talking about. Have your 2 players that can kind of go in on, you know, and play super aggressive, and have someone that's supportive back you up. So you've got that Conduit, you've got the Valkyrie, and you've got the Axel. So they are playing this in a very, very competitive, very fast-paced scene. But now Wiley getting up here on the top side of the skyscraper over at Barometer, trying to go ahead and get some shots down towards these squads below them. But the Ring 3 is closing currently the next 30 seconds.
Now, it's very obvious Barometer close.
Yeah.
Now, where is it going to be closing in Barometer? Probably that backside that's going to be on the southwest building. I can only assume, as we already see 1 squad, 2 squads that are going to be back there. But Wiley High School, they don't care.
Yeah, they want to send it on these squads.
They're going to send it on the building that already has 2 squads on it, and they're going to be potentially fighting the other squad. Ooh. Okay.
Well, R99 shots, they're going to go ahead, but the caustic traps do push them away. So this crypto drone could be very annoying. I'm looking at a pretty big EMP if they go ahead and hit it, but the R99 shots, there's the EMP. That's going to be able to get rid of some of those caustic traps, but no, gets full sent on Wiley High School. Trying to find some trades. They are able to pick up 1.
Now, I'm Nessie is the only one alive. Conduit attempting to hit the reset, but Yoking, EJ, Dead Rider, 2 members of the squad that were inside of that building are just going to be wiped. I mean, the Caustic tried and really tried, but it really just wasn't enough, as we're going to be seeing no other squad really walking up on Wiley High School, as we had just seen WTX trolls in the area, but I guess they decided it wasn't a fight worth taking.
Well, Wiley's 14 KP at the very minimum and a top 5 finish. They're going to be able to start trying to whittle down that gap between them and the West Texas Trolls. So the the crypto drone is able to go ahead and get that reset. Scanning around, looking for any sort of players, are able to get the recon beacon. So that is a lot of information for the Ice Giants here.
I mean, this is a perfect scenario for the Ice Giants. Now, the squads that are pulling up, though, you got to be careful with that. You have Red Hood that's diving in. You already have 1 that's on the bottom side of Barometer. 2 members that are already at the bottom side of the building. 2 members of Ice Giants that are at the top. And, hey, look at that. Next zone close. Top Barometer is still inside.
It is still inside. But the West Texas Trolls, they seem to be getting all sorts of mythic weapons here. The G7 Scout beaming these players from across the map, and that is going to be their go ahead and send it on in to eliminate that squad. And now it is a top 3 finish for the West Texas Trolls, and I believe Wiley High School still in the mix, and I believe the Ice Giants actually.
Yeah, I mean, for as long as Axel is going to be staying in the lobby, we're just going to continue seeing some int compositions. AJ Dead Rider once again on the floor, 3 squads remaining. And somewhere along the way, I didn't even realize we lost Cougars.
Yeah, the Cougars, they did go down. A team that was kind of on fire earlier on, chasing down a lot of those teams. But it is all up to the crypto player, the Lorax, is able to go ahead and get the respawn beacons. So they might be able to get a reset here.
Honestly, just fly the drone into the sky and hope no one shoots it, because zone is closing, and
Oh, he might be able to get into the mix. A lot of damage has been dealt between the West Texas Trolls and Wiley High School, and Wiley High School able to get that kill. So it is just a one single player remaining in a 1v3.
Ice Giants is alive.
They're alive. They're there.
The Lorax still in the lobby, and he is terrified.
He's got time to play with. If he can find a timing to maybe pick one off and kind of make something a little bit.
Did he just res inside of round 4 zone?
I think he. No, he didn't quite get it
Surely
just in
not.
time. Yeah, he didn't get it just yet. It does still say deliver to beacon. I don't think he was able to use it. So,
his drone got destroyed.
yeah, drone's gone.
The Lorax speaks for the trees, represents the trees. He is for the trees. A man of the trees, really. But
I don't know what.
This is
there's not too much you can do in this situation. It's very.
This is coughing baby versus hydrogen bomb.
Yeah, it very much is. He's got the drone back, so he can maybe try to sneak something. But I feel like the moment he throws that drone out and starts using it, they might be able to kind of pinpoint exactly the area he was able to go ahead and maneuver it in and around of. But it's going to be playing around this low ground, and it is Wiley High School. Just kind of sitting and waiting for him to make some sort of movement. Well, goes into the shipping container, throws out the drone. I don't know. Is he in zone? And I think he might have been able to spot out where it came from. So I think he's on the hunt now.
There is a 400 IQ technique that is happening here, that is occurring here, Mavs. And let me tell you, we don't know it, and he doesn't know either.
Nobody knows what's happening except.
All
right. Well,
okay.
You gotta give him props. He was able to last that long. He was able to secure a second place for his team. So in that situation, in a 3v3v1. That is best case scenario.
Yeah.
If you are somehow lucky enough to get that squad wipe and come out first, props to you. You are one of the most gifted players of all time.
Absolutely. Put him in Pro League.
Put him in. Sign him.
Now, okay. So that is a Wiley High School W. They actually took out the Trolls.
Yeah.
They hit him with a really good kickstart. Draco gets thrown up in the air, and from that point on, it's just chess piece after chess piece falling. King, Queen, Bishop.
Yeah. Everything kind of fell into position for them. They were able to kind of get in a really good spot. It is unfortunate that the Ice Giants, they didn't quite make it out after that reset. It seemed that the moment they got the Crypto got the respawn on his two teammates, nothing really came of it, and they went down just as fast as they came back. So
yeah,
really unfortunate there, but great performance coming out from Wiley High School to try to narrow that gap between them and the Trolls after that game one. And look, I might have said something about hoping a Texas team comes out on top, and there's two top performing Texas teams. So I'm a proud Texan here amongst these players here. That's all I'm gonna say.
Go get some Texas barbecue.
Ooh,
that
does sound delicious.
Tasty. Now, with that being said, I just wanted to take a moment here, Mavs. We know Wiley. We know Trolls. They're obviously the two heaviest hitters. But who's going to be taking that third place? Because we're still looking at podium finishes here right now. And I'm thinking Cougars has the opportunity to. They can definitely make a podium finish. But outside of those teams, the points are a little bit more distributed.
I will say, I want to say that I'm in agreement. I think Cougars, based on just Golden Strikers, kind of more structured background that you've talked about, he might be able to kind of dictate E-District just a little bit cleaner because of all the buildings you can play around. You can play a little bit more defensive and a little bit counteractive across the board when it comes to these more aggressive style comps. Run the Newcastle, run the Watson, Catalyst if you want. But, I mean, I don't know. E-District is going to be an interesting one when it comes to it.
I mean, we're looking at the maps right now, and I'm only thinking of Suotamo Hall, and this is another one of those POIs that so many buildings. You have multiple doors, multiple points of entry. You want to lock that down. Caustic barrel, Catalyst carpets, Watson fences, and if you have someone who isn't really accustomed to shutting down that type of utility, well, you're buying yourself time, you're buying yourself a reset, you're giving yourself the opportunity to get away with things. Now, here's the thing. Alter is extremely powerful on this map because it completely ignores all of those types of setups. Thus, thus what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Hopefully, we see some alters.
I think we'll see
really
an
hope
influx.
so.
I think you're on the right track. I think alter is going to be one that gets picked up a lot more across the board. I mean, we talked about the Valkyries last game. We did see a lot of them get picked up.
Yeah.
I think we see a drop off in the Pathfinders. I think we see a drop off in the Ballistics, and we see kind of a shift in this kind of in a different style, kind of aggressive comp when it comes to it. So I do believe Alter is going to get upped in the pick rate.
Now I think we do have a leaderboard, if I'm not mistaken.
Ooh, if we can get that up here and see who the current leader is. I do think it is still the Trolls, but well, we'll have to see. We'll have to see. We're going to take a little bit of a break, and then we'll reveal the leaderboard to y'all. So don't go anywhere. We'll be here right back at you with the last match of Apex here after this short break. So don't go anywhere. Get some food, get some water, stay hydrated. It is hot out if you're here at the venue kind of and you're just tuning into the stream. Stay hydrated. It's hot out. So I believe they're selling waters out front, 2 for $5. So I mean, hey. But
okay, and wait, before we go, we got medals. Okay,
we do
actually have some medals, and honestly, I had some of these earlier. I'm not honestly not someone who likes watermelon flavoring very much all the time.
I think I have to agree. Yeah,
but I really enjoy that watermelon. The watermelon medal. It was pretty good.
Yeah,
and it's pretty good. And then I was looking at these, and I was like, nutritional facts. I'm looking at my calorie intake. This thing has 100% of every single vitamin I could possibly need.
Oh my gosh! Yeah, I see that. Wow, that's so. I might have to pick up some of these on the way home. I'm not gonna lie, but I mean, I'm not gonna lie. These rings. I don't know if somebody's watching that can make this happen. I need one of these rings to take home tonight. I mean, I know I'm not playing personally, but like, yo. Somebody hook me up, please. These rings are fire.
I'm gonna go get myself a glass of milk, Mavs.
All right.
I'll catch you in a little bit, okay?
All right.
And I'll catch you guys too. All right.
Yeah.
See ya.
We'll see you after this break. Alrighty, welcome back, everyone. After that short little break, it is almost time for Game 3, the final game of the day. So only three games today, 3 games tomorrow is what it will be. But we're going to go ahead and take a look at the current state of the leaderboard. John, we had a little bit of a preview personally, and well, there it is.
Oh my goodness gracious.
Yeah, it is completely closed the gap. Wiley High School almost just narrowly outside of the West Texas Trolls. But even then, you take a look after that, 20 points is third place. That's it's quite the cutoff.
Yeah. No, absolutely. So this is a fight for third currently.
Yes.
Texas, and I will say I was quite surprised that Trolls was looking as good of a form that they were looking. But Wiley High School, the fact that they're able to get the wipe onto them and then get the win, closing the gap a little bit further, and then now they're equal in placement points, only 8 kills behind to really get that true draw. But immediately after that, we have Yeti Ice Giants. The Ice Giants have 18 placement points.
Yeah,
that is essentially the equivalent of 2 second places.
Yes,
which is crazy. Because that means they've been playing zone so incredibly well up until now, and they only have two kill points to their name right now. Now the Cougars, it seems that they had died out in that sort of 11th to 15th place range because they only have 4 placement points, but 10 KP to their name currently. So at this point, we only really have the Franklin Phoenix, who is and also the CH Ravens, who are kind of putting up some numbers on the board. People who are able to put up their hands and kind of fight back a little bit. Now, looking a little bit more towards the bottom of the leaderboard, and you're seeing some teams that are struggling, teams that are maybe getting a little bit more placement points, but just aren't really converting, not really getting any kills, maybe not getting those finishes on the knocks that they're trying to get. And it's a struggle, to say the least.
It is. But I'll say I think we're going to see a little bit of a shakeup as we're going up into the final map of the series of today. We'll go ahead and show you what that is. We've talked about it already. You might have seen the graphic, but we're going to show it to you one more time so we can really break it down. E-District is going to be the one to close us off. And we talked about it before. Alter, definitely going to be seeing a lot more this match than we've seen in the previous 2.
Now, strategy here is where we're going to be seeing a couple of difference makers between some of these teams. There were a couple of teams that were able to adapt their legend composition to the map, but others that are just completely sending it Axel all the way, baby. Pedal to the metal, full acceleration, no stops, no brakes.
Nope.
Now, E-District, definitely a very different type of map. Definitely something that has plenty of choke points. So if you're going to be playing Valkyrie, you best believe you're hitting those skydives as often as you can to get over those really high walls. If you're playing Alter, you're looking for every TP you can get, and you're just trying to juggle in and out of those buildings as caustic barrels are going to trap them up.
Yeah. Well.
Now, we have another map here. And on Storm Point. Storm Point for some reason.
But that we'll probably see a reset here. But
fix that.
We'll talk about it a little bit later, unless we get told otherwise. But I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I think we need to see a lot more Watson in this upcoming game. I think Watson on E-District is very, very strong. And we had some cheers going on. I don't know what happened, but I mean, the match did end, so we are getting a reset. We're cheering about something. I want to be included. Woo!
Go team! Go team!
Woo!
Now, that with that being said, lobbies relaunching, taking our sweet time, and I think this kind of gives people a little bit of an opportunity to see, or maybe fix some of those legend compositions that maybe they hadn't considered prior. I'm sure some people were confused when it said Strong Point.
Yeah, we were just as confused.
Now we're currently seeing some people who are looking at the scoreboard, and we're seeing some of the legend compositions, getting a couple of scout outs, and so that's just some of that very valuable recon you're able to get just by a lobby restart. But that suddenly changes how you're going to play.
Yeah.
You see people are playing some Axel speed. I'm definitely seeing some alters on those scoreboard screens. So all that's really left to see is, are
Look,
people going to adjust their
look,
strategy, or are they going to be doing something different?
I'm still firmly hoping that we can see Advantage. I think it's possible. I think on E-District, it's definitely viable.
Okay.
I think so. I think you can kind of post up on some of these skyscrapers, some of these buildings, and kind of take some pop shots. But I think we are going to be loading in here in just a moment. I see a couple of the screens booted up here for E-District. So let's get some hype in the chat. I know it's still only, but nonetheless, just spam it, chat. Just get hype, get excited, because it is the last map, the last game, the last anything of the day here on day number 1.
That pays in the chat, gentlemen. Now we are going to be loading into that lobby. Character selection happening momentarily here as we're just waiting for those last couple of people to load up.
Countdown, baby.
And
send it.
We're in character select. All right.
Go. Yeah, there we go. All right.
All right, waiting for that first select. Who are we going to see?
Show me Advantage. Show me Advantage. Somebody.
Lifelines, ballistics, pathfinders, altars, catalysts, Valkyries. Quite a few Valkyries, actually. We are seeing some new castles. Okay.
I see a fuse. All right. Oh, we got the Revenant.
Yes!
We got the Revenant.
Okay. New castles. We're seeing Revenants, more lifelines. We're seeing conduits. Okay. Definitely a much bigger legend diversity that we're going to be seeing this time around. I am excited for this game. And you know what? I'm going to have some hardcore copium. I hope that Catalyst stays alive until endgame.
And match ended.
And match ended.
Alrighty.
Okay.
I blame this guy that's walking by right here. You guys can't see him, but we blame him. And those of you who know, you know. Anywho, he's looking at me now funny. All right. Yeah.
Hey, that's okay. But that's exactly what I said earlier.
Yes.
People are adjusting their approach. They're going to be looking at that character select once again, and they're going to be considering what exactly is going to how these matches are going to be playing out. Probably just had one VC, 1 or 2. We obviously can't leave anyone behind in the lobby.
No, not in the last game of the day.
Definitely
Come on,
not. Definitely.
Come on.
Now, I saw a lot less altars than I was really hoping for.
That kind of got me a little concerned. I think some of them are just maybe a little too caught in their ways. And we're on the guy came. Hi. Hello. Oh man, but yeah, I mean, look, I just want to do this. I want to shout out all the parents that are here. This is so amazing to see all sorts of these parents so supportive of these kids playing in esports. I mean, I know it's a little untraditional. A lot of the parents are stuck in the way of, oh no, you got to play football, you got to play baseball, you got to play basketball, you got to play some sort of sports. But seeing all of these parents out here supporting their kids in this type of endeavor, it very much brings a lot of hope, at least to me, that there is going to be a lot bigger of a future when it comes to youth esports.
I mean, no, absolutely, and I'm sure none of the parents really complained when they said that they were coming to sunny Florida.
I mean, I did look out a little bit ago. It was a little cloudy, so it might be raining. It might have already rained. It might have already stopped because that's just Florida doesn't know what type of weather it wants sometimes.
Regardless of the weather, you still go to Disneyland if you're at Disneyland.
Yeah,
go to Universal.
I haven't been in a very long time.
I've never been.
You've never been?
Never
been.
I've been here for 3 whole years.
Yeah.
3 whole years. That is more than 1,000 days around the sun.
Yeah.
And I've never been to Disney World.
In your life though?
No, in my life.
Wow.
I haven't been here. But you know what? I did go to Universal City Walk and I had a voodoo donut.
That's up there. Man, sorry. Let me fix this for you. Oh, turning it the wrong way.
Okay.
Actually, try some metal. I mean, if you guys are here at the venue, they've got a little bit of a stage back, a little setup at the back corner over there, and I think I might hit it up after this last game.
I was actually talking to the metal guy actually, and he was an absolute gentleman. He was giving me some recommendations. He was telling me what's up. That little setup he has in the back there, he actually made a throne out of metal cases.
Oh my gosh! I
don't know if you can see that.
I think I see someone sitting on it right now.
That's the guy. He's sitting on his throne made of metal.
That is awesome. That is actually incredible.
What's the Game of Thrones? What is that? The Throne of Iron? Is it called the Throne of Iron? I'm probably botching that really hard.
I mean, I've seen 4 seasons of it. I haven't seen all of it, and you would think that I would know it by now. And I don't.
Well, you know, instead of swords, his throne is made of cans.
I wonder if there's a way we can turn one of the cameras that we have in here towards that section so we could show it to you guys on the broadcast. I think that I mean, I don't know. Production, if you can do it, please give it a shot. If not, I'm not going to hold it against you. You whispered something into my ear, production. I don't know what it was though. Oh, okay. Here we go. Here we go. We've gone to the God Cam here. Let's take a look. Can we see a potential slow pan over maybe? I don't know. They're working on it. They're working on it. I promise. They're trying it.
It's turning.
Is it? I can't tell.
Is our camera over here? Look.
There we go. Okay, we were talking about ours. Okay, so we can go ahead and zoom on in. Yeah, take a look at a couple of plays. Yep, there it is. It's a little dark back there. But
a tiny bit.
Maybe, you know, it's a
little dark. Well,
we promise it's there.
That gentleman in that white button-up shirt, he is in front of the throne of cans.
Hold up, let's see. I've got my flashlight on. Is it helping? Is it helping? I don't think so. All right. Well, anywho. Oh man. Well, we'll have to go check it out. If you guys are here at the venue, if you guys aren't inside right now, maybe you're just walking around the Full Sail right now, I would definitely come check it out and take a look at it. I'm definitely gonna take a look at it because, like, I mean, I'm like we were reading these everything that's in it, and I'm not gonna lie, I probably could have used one going into the beginning of this broadcast.
Well, I mean, I'm gonna use one right now.
Oh, he's gonna use one right now.
Just grab one of these bad boys. Well, it was a metal. We had a focus and performance beverage. Is the watermelon flavor good for focus, fitness?
It's the one you were talking about earlier.
That's the one. I mean, it supports immune function. I mean, it's.
He's just
don't mind if I do.
He's just gonna rip it. Can you give it into the? Oh, that was pretty loud. That was kind of crisp. That was kind of crisp. Is it carbonated?
It is a little bit carbonated.
Yeah, a little bubbly.
Little
bubbly.
Little bubbly.
Little salty, actually.
Yeah.
Wow, I can smell that from here.
Yeah.
That is, wow. Yeah. It smells really, really
tasty.
Yeah. You know, I might have to find a way to take a case home personally. I don't know.
We got lots of them.
Yeah, there's a lot. I mean, so much so that there's a throne.
Yeah. There's a surplus. There's definitely a surplus. Now, you know, it's as we're still waiting up for that last match.
Yeah, we're still waiting for a couple people.
Let's do some
to get
zone
back.
Predictions here.
Oh boy.
Okay. All right.
On
the count of three.
I think you've got one.
Actually, I got Apex Legends Atlas pulled up.
Yeah,
okay, we're gonna do some zone predictions here.
Okay.
Let me just pull up E-District. All right. I'm gonna say. Let's say it on the count of three.
Okay. Give me one moment while I take a look.
Okay.
Okay, just because I'm a fan of this end zone. All right. Okay. I got mine. 3, 2, 1. Energy Bank.
Old Town.
I love an Old Town
Man,
finish.
dude, I hate.
I know. It's a very polarizing end zone.
There's this one very specific spot, which is right in like these three markets, these three little shops here in Old Town, which is crazy. But making it there is pure death.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're back in it. It's the last game. Maybe we might have another restart. I don't know, but nonetheless.
Okay. I want to look at WTX Trolls because they got conduits. We're seeing that Revenant still committed to that aggressive action. We're seeing Axles, obviously, conduits, Valkyries, a handful of altars. Okay, a little bit more. I'm seeing 4 altars so far. Wraith altars. Okay, so I'm thinking people are kind of trying to omit the Pathfinder, and they're just full committing to those Phase Walker abilities.
Well, I mean, you know, the Wraith, not a horrible option because also as one of the Evo upgrades, you can get the what is it, the Void Orb?
That sounds about right, like a warp.
Yeah, so like you're not targetable while inside of it, so you can kind of play it a little bit safely. You can kind of get your team out in a pinch. However, other players can still enter it and gain the benefit of the void kind of invisibility. So I don't know, it'll be interesting to see, but the final drop here of the day, we'll have to see where this is going to pull down to. I think it could be Old Town, Humbert Labs, but that's just me. I know it probably won't. I feel like we're probably going to see something like a
Now the entirety
like
of
City
Cougars
Hall.
is able to get Lotus completely for free, which is, in my opinion, one
Can we
of
talk
the
about
best.
the Mont Vent?
What?
They have the whole left side of the map to themselves there.
Yeah, Vent Kids. I mean, I guess no one really likes the left side of the map.
I
Blossom
guess.
Square is overrated. Anyways. Blossom
Nah,
Square sucks.
it's not great, but you know you're all alone. And well, we can see where this first zone is. I can already tell you it's probably not where I'd said. It's definitely not an Old Town finish.
Absolutely. I mean, we're still not quite sure what the ring is, if we're going to be able to pull that up in a moment here. But you know, hopefully it's going to be that energy bank finish that I was expecting.
It might be. I think you might have cooked on that one. I think you. I've got full faith that it's you know, I'll back you up here.
Okay.
Okay.
Now this team is able to get the entirety of Coliseum, not to themselves. Actually, there is going to be a confrontation here at Coliseum, and this altar is going to be teleporting out on the opposite side of that wall, a safe retreat. And unfortunate thing is that you don't really have lots of loot here. I mean, this guy's working with an alternator car, double SMG. Best hope that you don't empty out both of your magazines.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say it's like the car has almost no ammo in it, but
that's not an energy bank zone.
No, that's
probably
that might
neon.
be. Yeah,
it probably could go boardwalk as well. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's definitely not either something.
Well, we gave it our best shot.
Yeah. Now, Cougars is actually, you know, done looting both of the spires in Lotus. Why now? They do need to be careful because Wiley is, you know, they have access to that gravity cannon, and they're immediately going to be able to hit an evac tower. They can just as easily, you know, dive into Lotus as they can any other POI in the surrounding area.
Well, the Arctic Mermaids still trying to find their way out of this initial drop. Ares and company going to be trying to lead the charge out, get something a little bit more safer. This is a loadout that's interesting, though. Hemlock Havoc. And I think that just boils down to not being able to find another gun that, you know, in that situation, because like you mentioned, there's not a lot of loot around there. They kind of have to just deal with what they, you know, what they're dealt. And at this point in the match, I don't think it's worth taking those early fights for them. I think it's a matter of let's reconvene elsewhere. Let's find another fight in a different place. And look, I can already tell you. Yep, there it is. Yeah. For those that you don't know, that's a Gundam reference, and I loved the Gundam. I loved the Gundam crossover event. Yep, it's the heat rod. Yeah.
That is wonderful.
Yeah, and it's the skin on the Valkyrie. But I won't nerd out too much, as we do have a couple of shots being taken by Pigeon here.
I think I'm already witnessing some of Wily Apex taking shots onto Cougars as I see in the kill feed. So, Vabiss is going down. If I'm not mistaken, Vabiss is Golden Striker's down. Twilight hitting 2 off of Cougars. That might almost be the entire roster from Cougars that might get eliminated from the lobby earlier than we expected.
Well, the Valkyrie ult go ahead and reposition Stormborn here, making their way towards the zone. They do spot out a couple of these players, and they saw immediately they were going to go ahead and jump straight out onto these teams. Again, these teams are playing so aggressively, but not going to be able to shoot out that EMP. Does take the hit, so all the shields across Stormborn going to be taken out. Destrone shot out finally, but shot in the back. There it is. I was assuming there was going to be a lifeline ult there possibly, but nope, it isn't going to be anything. It is going to be the Trolls to come out on top. And that is actually the Cougars that was eliminated.
That's unfortunate. I don't know if that's the entire roster of Cougars, however. I mean, they only have 2 assists, and I don't remember seeing Moths that's going to be that was Moths.
Yeah, I mean, they might have gotten one away. They might have gotten one.
I mean, as long as you have one, you can get the rest back up. But we're going to be moving over to Vent Kids, who are on the left side of the map. Had almost the entirety of it free, and they might actually negative rotate back to where they came from, unless they choose this confrontation with Wagyu here.
I feel like
well, that's his teammate.
Yeah, that is a teammate, and they're actually going to go ahead and post up in this building just outside of Energy Bank. This is it's a bold strategy, and I don't know if it'll pay off, because I don't believe that this zone is going to pull back in this direction, as the first ring is going to be closing up here. 1 minute left and it was fully closed up, but we kind of saw it was relatively just eastern central of the map. Nothing too crazy obvious on where it might pull. So it really it's up to anyone's game at the moment.
Absolutely. I mean, and I'm glad to be seeing the Watson here as the Watson is getting his fences down. Ooh, Franklin Griffin. Slug Life able to put down the shield. That's actually really good utility usage just to be able to cover any incoming bullets and keep Robot Destroyer in it for a little bit longer.
I really like this team comp. I think the Newcastle is going to provide a lot of value in these buildings, in these situations. And then you have the Pathfinder for some, repositionability with the zipline. And then you've got the ballistics that can kind of just, for lack of a better word, go ballistic.
Ain't that the truth? Ain't that the truth? Now, we're going to be seeing the scan here, 14 enemies scan, looking at the map. They're just getting a little scout out of where people are going to. Now, here's the thing. There's not enough controller characters in the lobby to be able to reliably look at that information on scan. Wily Apex going to enter a fight here. They are going to be fighting WTX Trolls, and 2 members from Wily's down, and
they
Wily
go down.
gets eliminated. Oh my gosh,
no.
That is our first place team eliminating second place. WTX Trolls stays alive, eliminates their competition, takes down the opposition, and it's just looking like WTX Trolls is setting themselves up for another heater here.
Yep. Unfortunately, Wily, no chances of being able to close the gap. They still have day 2 that they can possibly come back a little bit. We'll have to see how the lobby shapes up at the end of the day here after this match. But the West Texas Trolls, they are looking like the favors going into day 2.
I mean, that you definitely don't want that to happen. No. You just gave 3 KP to the team that is above you, and you are, needless to say, every point matters. You're already 8 points behind, and if you're looking for that, not just podium finish, but you're looking for that first place finish, you can't be dropping games like that.
You can't be just giving away the KP just like that. But Arctic Mermaids, they're looking to try to get in on some of the action. They've spotted out this team. The nade does hit. The Arc Star does a little bit of damage there. It does break some of the shields, but they're going to go ahead and try to go on in. They've got the Void Nexus that they can retreat to, but how aggressive are they going to get? The Seer Scan, the stun does come through. They hit a couple of the players, but the Void Gate, the Void, what is it? The portal? The portal? Yeah. I think it is the Void Gate.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah, it sounds about right.
Okay.
Well,
I mean, Arctic Mermaid's a little bit lost here. Aries not too sure of what's happening here.
Oh, they're just going to get out.
But that's going to be WTX Trolls rolling up on them, and they're able to Valkyrie Skydive out of here just in time.
I think that's the right play.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely don't know who you're fighting, and Arctic Mermaid just had perfect timing there, because if you wait any longer on that, you accidentally get your Valkyrie ult canceled, and you're caught with your pants down. You just don't want that to happen.
I mean, great play call out of Arctic Mermaids. They saw an opportunity to try to take a fight in that building, get some KP, realized that West Texas Trolls were coming in for a third party, and they're like, hey, look, we need to try to have a good finish here late game. If we can get those placement points, that would be a lot better. The kills are just the cherry on top, but we need to try to find some way to close the gap between all of the teams and us. Try to work our way up the leaderboards, but frankly, Griffin going to be getting some KP here. Jumping into the action, the car shots. They're going to be able to get the full squad wipe, and they're going to be on the board. The Cougars, they got the reset.
Yeah, they did. They did, and they are able to get a little bit of damage output. Moth here trying his absolute best. Looking at this aggression here, it's looking like Cougars has the opportunity to put up some momentum, but the entirety of the squad that we had just seen a moment ago is able to make it out without too much friction.
Ring 2 closing. It looks like the zone actually pulled a little bit further back towards Energy Bank. It didn't go too far west, so this is going to be very interesting. That team that was set up outside of Energy Bank, oh gosh, who was it? Oh gosh, that's going to bother me
I
now.
wish I could tell you, but they did definitely select a good spot.
Yeah.
Plus, they have the Watson fence set up. Really, all they're really looking at is maintaining that spot and best believe that no one else enters uninvited.
Well, Griffin, after getting that first squad wipe, they want to get into some of more of the action, trying to get these kills. But the Valkyrie, it gets interrupted on a couple of the players. The KP, 2 out of the 3 going to be taken out. And Griffin, they're going to go up to 7 KP at the minimum. 9 squads remaining, and the squad, the zone's pulling further and further into the central map of Energy Bank. But Griffin, they got to find their way out. Another squad has rolled up for a third party.
At this point, you know, squads are looking for the KP rotating.
It is the Cougars.
Ooh. Okay, Cougars, let's go. All right. So we have Moss, we have Flooper Kid, we have Golden Striker. They're over here looking for the, oh, look at the BM, the finisher out of the Axle. Ooh, that's not going to feel nice for Robot Destroyer.
No, not
feel good about that
at all. So, gonna go ahead, get that 1 KP at the very least, but it is Gushers down to 1 player. Don Gotti is gonna be the only player remaining. And of course, it would be the Wraith, the last player. The Rats trying to get their team some good placement points.
I mean, if there's any player to stay alive, it's got to be the Wraith, right? Like, you're walking into another squad here, and you want to be careful about that. Now, one thing I was noticing earlier is that, you know...
Oh, they've got a Graber.
Okay.
Where did they get that?
Hopefully you make use of it, because you got to use it. Those WTX trolls are not trolling.
Yeah, well, the Ice Giants scanning around the area, 5 KP on the board. They're not looking too bad, but they need to get a lot more of the action going. It was actually Mont Vent. It was them that were set up, and then they had to pull out of that zone because it pulled so far north. So they're looking for another building. But the SHS, Hojo, and West Texas Gushers, they're in the vicinity. They're in the area. So now finding their way into a building is going to be a little bit difficult,
to say the least. Now, we're going to be maybe looking at a confrontation between WTX trolls and the event kids, as they're going to be rolling up here, holding that high ground, holding that height. And you don't really have much long range here. I mean, Vent Kids, looking at Gamer Dragoon with an RE45 and an R9, you can't really take those long distance shots.
They're looking for something here. Zone closing up here. Ring number 3 in just a few seconds. We'll have to see where it pulls in Energy Bank. But, I mean, it feels like it's just a little bit too central in that you might as well just take that central building. There's a lot of places that you have to defend on. But if you have something like we saw the Watson, Mountain Vent, if they can get there, they might be set off in a good position. But it actually pulls all the way north.
Okay, so this did in fact stay in Energy Bank and went the complete opposite direction of where that Ring 1 was maybe alluding to. But Vent Kids is able to make it out. Gamer Dragoon hit an insanely important portal. It does seem like they're still getting chased, but we do see Mozams. They have a central position inside of Electrobank. They're going to want to make an exit here and try to move towards the north side, but not easy to do. You have a Sentinel in your sling. You have Hemlock, P20s. You're trying your best with what you got.
Yeah, the Altar, to take note, they did take the controller perks, so they were able to fortify those, the windows in there. So they're going to be a little bit stronger, but Arctic Mermaids, they do lose 1, they lose 2, and it's all up to Ares here, but before he can get in through the Void Gate, it is the Trolls to get the full squad wipe, and it is going to be 11 KP for the Trolls. And now, I mean, at that point you have to wonder, can anybody come back day 2 and try to dethrone this team at the moment?
You know, it really is a competition between everyone else, but we do see that Flooper Kid gets taken down by the Kraber in the kill feed, and WTX Trolls using that Valkyrie Skydive, looking for the next squad, scanning, sweeping the rest of the lobby, and it seems like the next victims is going to be the Franklin Griffins.
These teams, yeah, it's just the Trolls. They are running around this map, dominating every single gunfight that they come across. The Yeti Ice Giants, they lost 1. And oh, the charge rifle not going to hit. Takes a little bit of damage thanks to that was the overheat. So, doesn't really do too much, though. They just finally get those KP. And West Texas Trolls, they're on the hunt once again, on the move, never staying in one place too long.
This is just pure aggression that we're seeing out of here. Ooh, look at that mantle jump. That was pretty nice. I mean, Twilight hitting really, really nice tracking shots. Yoking's just barely able to fly away, and Funky falls in the kill feed. As we're witnessing, oh, Yoking gets destroyed across map. Trying their best, maybe looking for the reset, but I don't know if Yoking really makes it out of this, as Trolls from this, you know, high ground vantage point is just looking at everyone else. We got 6 squads left in the lobby, 18 left alive. Everyone's still a full 3 at the moment. As the Lorax falls.
They are clearing every single corner out here as They are on the hunt. The kill leader now going to be Twilight. 14 KP, 5 squads remaining. Ring closing up here in just a few seconds. More than a few, 40 seconds to be exact. But they do not care. They want to try to finish this game out before these final rings come through. The shots gonna connect, do get the crack onto the Valkyrie. The missile swarm dive does stun a couple of the targets. They're not going to be able to capitalize on it because it is Golden Striker that was the Valkyrie that was cracked. So they have to heal back up, have to get the reset before trying to reach out.
Now, SHS Pojo in a precarious situation, to say the least, just barely inside of this building, maybe jumping out. And if they actually complete the rest of this rotation, they might hit the backside of Cougars. Vent Kids in the fight with Trolls. Oh, but an insane flank! Oh my gosh, Dreka falls down. It's only Twilight. 2 still alive from Vent Kids. They're looking for the fight against this Axel. Twilight trying his absolute best.
Crack. They are going to try to play around these knockdown shields, both of these players, but they do take down one. The tracking shot's 1 HP, but he does have the shield fully back up thanks to the battery. He's able to reach out here, but the knockdown shield's not going to be able to carry him for much longer. Is able to get out thanks to the Nexus gate, the Axel gate, and there go down the Trolls. Right?
Wow.
Yeah.
Gods can bleed, and that's exactly what we just witnessed as we saw a juggernaut in the lobby fall down in 3rd place. We are looking at Cougars versus Game Dragoons team. This is going to be a pure hard 3v3, and you best hope that this L-Star doesn't shred off rip.
Shots from the Montvent Kids here trying to close things out in the last 3v3. 2 squads remaining. Final zone closing up in 55 seconds, but good damage coming out from Game Dragon. As this Kraber, 2 shots left in the chamber. Can you connect them is the important question, because otherwise you're out a full gun. You've only got 1 in the inventory. Meanwhile, it is Braden with infinite ammo on this Kraber. He is just going to let these shots rip after rip. And there goes down Braden with the Kraber. Just as we were talking about it, that's going to be the okay for Pojo to go on in. Montvinkic at the high ground, though. They're going to be able to get some good damage on the Braden. He just go down.
Good outstar damage. Vent Kids only, it's only the Rice who's still alive. You got the R301, you got the R9. Good damage.
He does get the knock. It's a 1v1. 1v1. He does get cracked. He has to try to stay alive. He has the overheal.
He's closing the distance. He's Wraith porting out, trying his best. Pojo just looking for the damage instead of going for the reset. Pulling back, going back into the corner. Wraith slowly hitting the cells. He doesn't have any batteries.
He needs to go in now. He has to go. The comms, he is running in. Not going to be able to get the full reset, though, but neither is he. Game Dragon
to the res.
Oh, he's going to get the res of himself. They're going to be able to get 1 team at least, but the bleed out onto one of them. It is going to be a 2v2 in this situation. It is the conduit that was picked up.
Resets on both sides. Newcastle gets an armor swap. Oh, Braden goes back down. Is this going to be a turnaround?
And no!
SHS Pojo wins! They were able to turn that around.
I for sure the Montvent Kids, they got that, but it was Pojo that turned it all the way around.
That is insane. Well done.
Whoa.
SHS Pojo, with the 1 Wraith alive, is able to pull back despite not having any batteries, only a couple shield cells to their name, gets the reset, their teammate gets the full heal, and he's able to pull up L-Star 1 clip, and then use the R301, gets the rest of the damage off, finishes them off.
Yeah.
Wow. Vent Kids regrettably choked. That is
just unfortunate, but still, nonetheless, good showing from teams that didn't seem to really have a great performance in those first 2 maps. And now there was some signs of life. But was it too little too late? Because here's the problem. You're going to have to go a full day of not playing at the very minimum in this kind of situation, in this environment. You're going to have to wait till day 2 to play the last 3 matches of this series. And I mean, you've got warmed up all the way to this point after 3 games. You know, good job getting to that point, but I don't know if they have what it takes at the very end to close things out tomorrow.
I mean, here's the thing, Rabs. We already spoken about this. You know, this isn't a tournament for first place.
Yeah.
It's a tournament for our podium finish, and for a team like SHS Pojo, which was struggling in the leaderboards up until now, that is huge. I mean, a full win, 12 full placement, 12 full placement points to a team that's not being dished out like the Wiley's
Wiley High School,
Wiley High School, or WTX Trolls. That was almost enough to immediately boost you up into 13th place. I mean, the next team with the highest amount of points was 16 or 20.
Yeah, it was like
total,
20 points. Yeah,
20 points, and so just off of that, plus the KP points you get in that third game, I'm thinking once we're going to be looking at that leaderboard, we're going to see a major disrupt.
Yeah, I mean, I think the point differential across these teams that weren't in first, aren't in second. I mean, if you weren't WTX Trolls or Wiley High School, I think we're going to see some maybe even more gaps further down the leaderboard start to develop. So we'll have to see where the leaderboard sits in just a few moments. I don't know if we have the map series laid out, graphic up and ready for us to show that, so we can kind of get a grasp of what is to come from the most recent matches going into tomorrow. I mean, it is going to be the same map, same order, same everything. Now, the question is, how much research is going to have to go in tonight and before tomorrow, because you can kind of come in with a little bit of a better idea on what needs to happen on day 2. So, I mean, there might be some upsets tomorrow. I mean, I don't know. Maybe the Trolls were just in top performance today. They might come in tomorrow and completely choke it. There's so many possibilities, so many variables that have to be factored in when it comes to a LAN style event. And a lot of the times, these are some of these kids' first time at a LAN. It can be stressful, but I mean, maybe day 2, some of these teams come swinging a little bit harder than they did today.
What if they catch a second win? What if you get a little bit of momentum going? I mean, SHS Pocho, we just saw them pull off something which let's be honest, we weren't expecting that.
No.
That was an unexpected finish. So, what I'm expecting for tomorrow, Mavs, is that Valkyrie is going to be a must pick. You saw WTX Trolls. They were just landing, selecting their next victim, one after the other, stacking up the bodies. Pojo Esports, look at that. 13 kills. Yeah. When you take into account that placement points, that's 25 points added to the leaderboard. Surely that puts you in third place.
Surely that shoots you up. I mean, you can even take a look at the damage dropout, though. 7 kill difference between what was the Trolls' first place finish and then the Pojo's first place finish. And take a look. It's about 1,000 damage across 7 kills. I mean, maybe there's a little bit of damage farming going on.
A little bit. I saw that L-Star doing some crazy stuff.
The L-Star right now is in a very disgusting place.
It's a beam.
Yeah.
It is a beam.
But yeah, we can already see the maps played out tomorrow. World's Edge going into Storm Point to end the day out on E District. I don't know. This is I don't want to call it just yet. I think it's anybody's game.
Yeah, no, definitely. Absolutely. I think we're only halfway through the series. That's the thing. We're only halfway through the series. You still have 3 more maps, albeit the maps that we just played today.
Yeah,
World's Edge, Storm Point, E District. Yeah. I think if you can shut down WTX Trolls early on in the game, then that sets you up for a really good result. I mean, we looked at Wiley High School. They died. They got eliminated from the lobby too early in game 3, and that suddenly puts them at risk of, opposition.
Yeah.
What if SHS Pojo's was actually insane and we just didn't know it because everyone else was stealing the limelight?
I mean, who knows? I mean, look, at the end of the day, it is everyone's game. Or anybody's game. We can have a team come in, win 2 games with great, KP, or at least good placement and great KP.
Yeah.
That could be more than enough to push you over the top of what the Trolls got today. So don't rule anybody else just out yet. I mean, even some of the players that are currently in maybe like 10th, 11th, 12th place. I mean, we can take a look at the updated leaderboard. Okay, well, it's a bit of a tall order now that we're seeing it on paper. 85 points down to 52 after that, and then 31 with the Yeti Ice Giants. It's
the craziest thing here is that Yeti Ice Giants has more placement than Wiley.
Yeah, they do.
And they're not that far off of WTX Trolls in placement. So Yeti Ice Giants, these guys are actually playing by the book, and it is somehow working for them.
Yeah.
Now, looking at other teams, you got Franklin Griffin. dishing out kills, not too many placement points. And same thing for the Cougars. They can't stay alive for long enough. And this is something that we need to see from these teams that are in the 4th all the way down to almost 8th and 9th place positions, is that let's stay alive, guys.
Yeah. I think Montvent kids, I think they have a good showing tomorrow. Yeah. I think after today, they showcase that they have a really solid team chemistry, team composition. They can play off of each other really well. Sucks that they couldn't pull out that win in the very last end of it, but they maneuvered the fight pretty well. It's just unfortunate that Braden was able to get that first knockdown on with the Kraber. And then kind of towards the end, it got a little bit dicey with the revives and stuff, but they maneuvered the rest of the map really, really well. They called that it was going to be a more centralized point at Energy Bank, given they did have to rotate more further north on it, but they had that call.
Yeah. It was an unfortunate one, too, because the Newcastle, instead of immediately hitting the res, tried to pop batteries, try to slowly heal, and didn't put down any utility. And I think that could have gone in Vent Kids' way in an extremely different sort of scenario if there was just more utility that was used. And I think this is going to be another difference maker with some of these teams, is that WTX Trolls is abusing their utility, and that's why they're able to get away with so much. I mean, you got the Axel gates, you got the Valkyrie skydives, and then you really just have the Conduit, which is just, always there to back up, heal up a teammate, because no one is capitalizing off of these cracks and these knocks.
Yeah.
And I think that utility is exactly where we're going to be seeing a huge difference within some of the teams in this lobby here.
Well, exciting 3 games here. I was almost out of my chair there at that last game, but we have 3 more games playing here tomorrow. Crazy. We're going to wrap up Fortnite, Apex, and then Minecraft will be also coming tomorrow. 15 games, I believe, all teams playing. No, sorry, 5 rounds, 15 teams, or 15 rounds, 5 teams. I have to think it's one of those ways. I'd have to
5 rounds.
5 rounds.
At least 15, probably 16, perhaps.
But yeah,
most likely.
We got Minecraft coming at you tomorrow. And to close out the rest of the weekend, Rivals, Rocket League, Overwatch, and Valorant is going to be coming at you guys. And you might see some familiar faces on those as well, but I'm not going to leak who's on those. I'm gonna leave that for y'all to tune in later on in the week, because we want you to come back and watch some more. But that might close us out here today, John.
A little bit of pizzazz to end off the day. That was an unexpected surprise, to say the least. I'm quite happy with that. Well, with that being said, thank you so much for tuning in to the Esports Series Championship here in Orlando, Florida at Full Sail University. Come back tomorrow. We're going to get started at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard. And with that being said, Mavs, I'll catch you tomorrow, buddy.
Yeah, I'll see you tomorrow as well. And we'll see you all tomorrow as well.
Catch you later, guys. Bye.